Hey vintage fanatics, Paul here with Velvet Tarantula Vintage out in Chicago. Just wanted to share with you a few of the things that we've sold this week. Hey guys, we sold this hand knit kind of hippie shawl. I just wanted to show it really quick. It's a nice crocheted pattern, really bright, probably from, I don't know, maybe the 60s or the 70s. Looks like it could be a handmade item. There's no tag in it whatsoever, but we sold this for $60 on Etsy, and we paid $5 for it at an estate sale. So I always look for bright, kind of colorful, different, unique items, and this one kind of fit the bill. So vintage shawl. I think one of the things I like the most about selling on Etsy is you can sell all kinds of unique and kind of crazy things. So we picked up this wagon right here, which is handmade folk art, probably from the, I don't know, 40s or 50s. It is completely handmade by some craftsman who knew woodworking. The cover is an old bank money bag, and you know, it's all wood. It's definitely missing a lot of pieces. We picked this guy up for 10 bucks at an estate sale and sold it for $50 on Etsy. Took about, I don't know, it was listed for maybe about 4 months. We bought several items of vintage Versace at an estate sale this past week. We paid 5 bucks for these because they're definitely well worn. They're not in the greatest shape whatsoever, but they're clean and they're made in Italy. They're well loved. Versace label on the back, Versace label inside with the made in Italy. These are probably from the 80s or I don't know, maybe early 90s or 80s, but we sold these for $35 on Etsy in the current condition they're in, and we paid 5 bucks for them. We picked up this really colorful floral Adrian Vettadini scarf that was made in Japan, all silk, really pretty, kind of a, I don't know, what are those tulips on there? We paid 2 bucks for this at an estate sale, and it sold for $12 on Etsy. Man, everyone loves cats. It's a total cat craze out there. We sold this crazy cat shirt on a vintage silver mountain tag made in the USA, excuse me, sportswear. Crazy cat shirt, probably late 90s, maybe 2000. I think there's a no date on it, but crazy cat shirt. Bought it for, I think it was 2 bucks at an estate sale, sold for $25 on Etsy. We sell a lot of vintage dresses on Etsy, and this is just one. We do a lot of Hawaiian dresses. They go from anywhere from like $30 to as high as I've sold a few from the 125s to 150s. But this one right here is a little bit more basic. It's island fashions, made in Hawaii, probably the 60s or 70s. Got a little lace detail. It's kind of a muumuu. You know, it's a maxi dress, so it goes all the way down to the ankle. Really clean. It was barely used. We picked this guy up for $8 at an estate sale and sold it for $38 on Etsy. Picked up this vintage Gap sweatshirt with the old Gap logo on the front with the old Gap tag in it. Right there. It was made in Korea, so probably, I don't know, mid-late 90s on this guy right here with the old Gap logo. We picked this guy up for half price at Salvation Army, so we paid $2.50 for it, and it only sold for $18 on Etsy. I thought I'd get a little bit more for it, but we'll take the $18 and move on since we've had it in our inventory for about 8 months. We sold this hand-painted Nippon plate in about 2 minutes. I listed it on Etsy last night, and it literally sold within 3 minutes. We paid $10 for this at an estate sale. It's a really pretty hand-painted item. Normally, I don't pick up Nippon hand-painted pieces because they're pretty basic, but this one, the artistry on it was amazing, and the subject matter was really good too. So if you can see, this is on a back stamp in a wheat circle with the M in the middle, which dates it. This is a 1911 Nippon back stamp. They have been making stuff forever, and there's tons and tons of pieces. So they started using that back stamp in the 2000, or was it 1911? I would date this piece probably to about 1930s, 1940s. Really pretty hand painted. Anything in Art Deco or anything that's like fruit or still life or overly painted really well does really well for me. Paid $10 for this at an estate sale. Sold it for 75 bucks on Etsy. That might have been too cheap. I don't know, man. It sold in like 2 minutes, but it's going to a new home in Florida. Nice footed compote. There you go. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. We'll be bringing you some more goodies soon. Until then, please hit that subscribe button. We'll bring you lots of videos going forward. We've been at this for about 15 years, but we're new to video, and we look forward to sharing with you what we're doing and learning more about what you're doing. Have a great day.